gentlemen, you're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Thursday night, Dylan Betances on the mound. Strikes out Josh Rutledge, and the Yankees clinch a wild card spot. They clinch their 52nd trip to the postseason. 87th win, more to come, and afterward, boy, the celebration was on in that Yankee clubhouse as they celebrated the fact that they were back in the postseason for the first time in 3 years. Yeah, they were happy for sure. Then they headed to Baltimore, not too happy because the rains came and washed away last night's game. But we have two today, so you better be ready for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. Today, it's the New York Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles in the first game of a day-night doubleheader from Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Ken Singleton, I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees have a long day ahead of them. They need one more win to clinch the home field advantage in the wild card game on Tuesday. One out of the three, or the Diamondbacks beating the Houston Astros one of the last two games. The Yankees are going to look to home runs like they did on Thursday.
Thursday night, they had lost the first three games of the series against the Red Sox. Then they had a three spot of their own. Carlos Beltran with a homer. Greg Bird, he's hit more home runs since being called up from the minor leagues than any other Yankee. And finally, Rob Refsnyder, a 436-foot bomb. The Yankees won 4-1. That was icing on the cake.
All right, the Game 1 pitching matchup brought to you by People's United Bank NA. See what know-how can do for you. Wei-Yin Chen gets a start for the Orioles, and for the Yankees, it's Ivan Nova. Last time out, he started out well, but then really got victimized by the long ball.
Yeah, this will probably be his last start of the year. Of course, Nova coming back from Tommy John surgery. He's looked good. He had some stretches during the last game where he looked excellent. Good breaking ball, picks up a few strikeouts, but then things started to go the other way. There's a good breaking ball for a strike. The home run ball came back and bit him a little bit later on in the ball game against the Red Sox. Travis Shaw touches one off. The Red Sox went on to win this ball game. Jackie Bradley also hit one against the traffic. Opposite field home run for the Red Sox outfielder as the Red Sox won that ball game against Nova and the Yankees.
All right, are you ready for some baseball? We are. When we get back, lineups, first pitch, baseball, Yankees against the Orioles. First game of a day-night doubleheader right here on Yes. In part by Hanneken, Open Your World. By Remax, nobody sells more real estate than Remax. And by Mohegan Sun, full of action, full of possibilities, full of life. Still an overcast day, hoping that the rain holds up on this Saturday afternoon to get both of these games in. Second game starts at 7. This one starts right now, and they'll both be here on the Yes Network. The Orioles have taken the field, so why don't we take a look at the Game 1 Yankees starting lineup, which is presented by Lexus. And this might remind you of Bradenton on March 9th. Center fielder Brett Gardner leads off, batting second and playing second, Rob Refsnyder. The DH is Alex Rodriguez hitting third. Cleaning up the left fielder Chris Young. Third baseman is Chase Headley batting fifth. Batting sixth and catching John Ryan Murphy. Jose Perella in right field will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing first base Austin Romine. And the shortstop is Brendan Ryan. He will bat ninth.
Orioles are going to go with a left-hander in the first game here against the Yankees. You can see Brett Gardner getting ready to hit. That's going to be Wei-Yin Chen. 30-year-old left-hander. He's got a pretty good record of 10-8, 3.35 ERAs, 3-5 in his career against the New York Yankees. Let's check out our pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Honda dealers. This could be his last flight as an Oriole. He's one of several players on the Baltimore team that can become a free agent at the end of the year. And he's got a career best 3.35 ERA working coming into today's game. 150 strikeouts for Chen. That's 4 fewer than his career high. So he can tie his career high today, maybe pass it against the Yankees this afternoon.
Now let's check out the Orioles defense, which is presented by Geico. You've got Pearson left, Reimold in center, and Parra over and right. Infield, Machado, Hardy, Flaherty, and Davis. That's third to first. Wieters is behind the plate, and Kenny told you all about Wei-Yin Chen on the mound. Well, disappointing season for Buck Showalter's Orioles. Last year, playoffs, they won the first round, then got swept by the Royals, and this year they're going home after the final game. Joe Girardi has his team in the postseason after missing the previous 2 years. Let's do it here in Baltimore, and the first pitch is a strike. We're underway.
One thing about Chen, you'll notice right away, he uses his fastball quite often. One of the pitchers in the league that uses his fastball a higher percentage than any other pitch.
Now, Joe Girardi said before the game, home field on Tuesday is very important to us, but it's not more important than keeping our players healthy. He said, so we definitely want to win, and a win would get them the game at Yankee Stadium on Tuesday. Or a Houston loss, as we said earlier, as Gardner grounds to second. Houston beat up on Arizona yesterday. They have 2 games remaining. Yankees and the Orioles 3 games remaining.
I think beat up is kind of a mild way of saying it. They beat them 21-5.
Used in that game was Dallas Keuchel. 6 innings, 99 pitches. And if he pitches Tuesday, he'll have to pitch on 3 days rest for the first time in his career. Pitch to Refsnyder as a strike. That's if the Astros are the wild card team.
Well, Joe Girardi has used Refsnyder against left-handed starters. The Yankees have been facing a lot of lefties lately. And Refsnyder has certainly been up to the task. He's 8 for 19 his last 6 starts against left-handed pitchers.
Alex Rodriguez on deck. Home plate umpires Marty Foster, Toby Basner at first, Mark Wegner at second, Sam Holbrook is at third. Grounded foul. Small crowd on hand here at Camden Yards, because if you had tickets for last night's game, they're honored for this game. And then tonight's game, which was regularly scheduled, a separate one. Grounded to short. Hardy gets Refsnyder. 2 away. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. It's 57 degrees, high winds, high humidity, and the forecast is cloudy and cool with occasional showers.
There was nothing occasional about yesterday. It just rained hard all day long. Really no chance to play that game.
Here's A-Rod. Fly ball. Center field. Drifting back Reimold. He's there. And Chen works a 1-2-3 inning against the Yankees. Yankees nothing. And the Orioles coming to bat. Gerardo Parra is the right fielder. He'll hit second. Hitting third and playing third, Manny Machado. He's played in every game for the Orioles this year. Chris Davis at first base will clean up. Batting fifth, the catcher Matt Wieters. Steve Pearce in left field will bat sixth. Batting seventh, the DHing Steve Clevenger. J.J. Hardy, the shortstop, bats eighth and batting ninth. And playing second base, Ryan Flaherty.
There's Nolan Raimo getting loosened up, and he'll be taking his swings against this man, Ivan Nova. This will be start number 17 on the year. 6-10, 4.89 ERA. As we told you, coming back from Tommy John surgery. Let's check out the pitcher scouting report. Brought to you by your Honda dealers. The East has been a beast for Nova. He's got 10 losses this year, 7 of them against teams from the American League East, except for the Orioles. He's pitched against them once, and he beat them. Pitching to a decision. We told you he has 16 starts this year. He's had a decision in every single game. And, of course, he and the Yankees, well, they're working for home field advantage this afternoon. A win, and the game Tuesday night will certainly be at the big ballpark in the Bronx.
Nova is ready, and he deals to Raimo. Now, scheduled to start for the Yankees in the second game is Luis Severino. And how long Severino goes depends on whether or not the Yankees win this game. Grounded foul. So if the Yankees win game one and they clinch, the wild card game being at Yankee Stadium, then Severino might pitch 2 innings.
It turns into a tune-up.
Right.
Yeah.
Almost like a bullpen session.
Mm-hmm.
If the Yankees lose this game, then Severino is going to go out and pitch the game and probably will not be available at all for Tuesday's game. Grounded to third. Ooh. And off the chest of Headley. And reaching is Raimo.
That's got to be a base hit.
And it is.
Yeah, it's a bad hop. You don't see bad hops very often. These fields are groomed. You got to remember this field was underneath a tarp for most of the day yesterday, and the ground crew didn't really get to it till today. So there's the bad hop. I'll tell you what, for an infielder, that's not a good thing when the first ball hit to you does that, because you got the rest of the game to worry about everyone after that.
And also Chase has had a little bit of a rough year defensively, so probably more on his mind now. Here's Parra. And a strike.
Those are the overall numbers for Parra since coming over from the Milwaukee Brewers in a deal near the deadline. But he's only hit .213 for the Orioles. He's a better player than that.
And that one is past Romine and into right field for a base hit. Raimo round second. He'll go to third. And the throw comes into Refsnyder. And the Orioles have runners on the corners and nobody out here in the first.
Little sinker, but it stays in the middle of the plate. Doesn't get it to the outside corner. Parra is able to drive it past Romine. Romine hasn't played all that many games at first base, and the Orioles are in business. First and third, nobody out here in the first inning.
And here is Machado playing in his 160th straight game. And this should be a double play. There is one. And there's two as a run scores. And the Orioles are up 1-0. Machado does not get an RBI, of course, on the double play. But Nova got what he needed.
Nova got the ground ball. That sinker working against Manny Machado. Has probably been the Orioles' best all-around player this year. He's had a tremendous season. As you can see, 4-6-3 double play. Raimo crossing home plate. You got a view of just about everything there. Nicely turned. Plenty of time for Brendan Ryan to get the ball over the Romine to complete the double play.
And now Nova will face Chris Davis, who was just named the most valuable Oriole. And he skies one the other way, and that'll be out of play. What a year for him. 258, 45 homers, and 112 ribbies. And he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year, and in all likelihood, the Orioles will not be able to keep him.
Well, it's interesting that he's the most valuable player, but I think Manny Machado had a better year all around.
Good numbers against Nova, 8 for 27 with 3 home runs.
And the second half has really been a strong half for Davis. I mean, here's a guy this year. You mentioned the 45 homers, Michael. He has had 7 multi-home run games this year. And Machado, 30 homers and 33 homers and 20 steals. And it's going to take a lot of coin to sign Chris Davis.
And a lot of years.
Yeah, that too.
That one is cracked to right center field. That ball is going to be off the wall as Davis gets himself a double.
Well, when he hits them, they usually leave the park. This one had overspin, and that's why it hopped off the warning track and then hit the wall. Like I said, he's having a strong second half. The target was up. Nova missed the target. You saw Nova's reaction. He thought it was out of the ballpark. This had overspin. It went out there like a line drive, then sunk. And Davis, who has a 1 home run lead on Nelson Cruz for the league lead.
There's Matt Wieters, another Oriole that will be a free agent at the end of the year. Pitch outside, and so will their starting pitcher, Wei-Yin Chen.
Yeah, I think the Orioles started the year with 11 players who could become free agents at the end of the year. Now they're down to 6. And you know, you read the Baltimore Sun. There's some people don't expect any of them to come back. It's going to be a drastically different team next year.
And I think that's what hurt this team as well, losing Nelson Cruz the way they did. So Murphy wants to have a talk with Nova. We'll take a look at the Yankee defense presented by Geico. Young, Gardner, and Perella left to right in the outfield. It's Headley, Ryan, Refsnyder, and Romine. Now, Romine played 22 games at AAA this year, so familiar with the position. Third to first, Murphy behind the plate. Nova is on the mound. More good numbers against Nova. 11 for 34 for Wieters.
You have a pitcher on the mound coming back from Tommy John and a hitter at the plate. Wieters back from Tommy John surgery. And during the course of this year, Wieters at times was not able to catch in back-to-back games. It just wouldn't do it. And he would share time with Caleb Joseph.
Three and 1 to Wieters.
Orioles 78 and 81. They have to win out to finish at 500.
Yankees have 87 wins. They have to win out to get to 90. 3-1. A strike to Wieters, and it's 3-2. Lights are on here at Camden Yards. Sun really nowhere to be found.
Well, what do they say? The sun will come out tomorrow?
Not sure. Foul back.
I think this is the smallest crowd since we've been coming here, Michael. All the years I've been here, I think this is it is sparsely populated. Of course, it's now football season, and a lot of the fans around here have turned their thoughts to the Ravens.
And it's also somewhat unfair to judge off this game, which
Yeah.
was not on the original schedule. We'll see tonight how many people are here.
Yeah, that's true.
skied the other way. And the Orioles have some experience playing in front of small crowds. The other day, it was pouring here against the Blue Jays, hardly no one in the stands. And they actually played a game where the city was in unrest, really.
Yeah.
And they shut down. The city people really couldn't go out. And they played a game with the gates closed.
Yeah, that was against the White Sox, I believe.
Boy, Weeder's really making Nova work.
Yeah, he's spoiling the tough pitches that Nova has made. Good sinkers away. Weaver's currently on a 6-game hitting streak, so he's probably feeling pretty good at the plate these days.
This is going to be the 10th pitch of the at-bat. 3-2. And Weeders wins that one with a walk. All right, so you've got Davis at second, Weeders at first, 2 men out, and here's Steve Pearce.
Pearce's numbers down from last year, although he's had a few more injury problems this year. He was a big contributor to the Orioles offense when they won the division a year ago.
One year ago, 293. Crowds the plate, deep in the box. Nova takes a while to get the sign from Murphy. And it's 1-1.
That foul tip got a piece of John Ryan Murphy, and he's limping around a little bit. Courtesy, Marty Foster, home plate umpire, going to brush off home plate. On top of the foot. That's what Michael's talking about, deep in the box and fairly close to the plate.
Driven deep to left field, going back Young. He's on the track, he makes the play, and that will do it. So the Orioles get a run on 3 hits and 2 men left. After 1 inning of play, Baltimore 1, New York nothing. Brought to you by your local Chevy dealer. The Yankees have a 2.5-game lead over the Astros, so obviously the Yankees are trying to get home field advantage in the wild card game. The Angels are 1 back of the Astros, the Twins 2 back. The Angels won last night, the Twins lost, so they're running out of games, and that's where we stand right now. So 1 win by the Yankees or 1 loss by the Astros, and that game will be at Yankee Stadium on Tuesday. Now we go to the second. Here's Chris Young against Wei-Yin Chen. 3 infielders on the left side for Young. And pitches outside, 1-0.
Yeah, we had mentioned that Chris Young, we mentioned the other day, a couple of games ago, that he had batted everywhere in the Yankees lineup this year, all 9 spots. And today, he's in the cleanup spot.
And the 2-1. 3-1.
This is just the second time he has batted 4th in the lineup for the Yankees.
That one is cracked to center field. Reimold back, still back, and it's going to be over his head and up against the wall. Young's at second. He's thinking 3. He's going for 3, and he will make it. Leadoff triple here in the second.
Well, Young picks on the furthest part of the ballpark. It's about 410 feet to that corner in center field, left center field, and the ball hits around that number. He's going to bound away from Reimold, who gets back, sees he can't get it, and then the ball gets by him again. So it's a double retrieve for Reimold, one way and then the other, and Chris Young is going to start to push it right here on his way to third, leadoff triple, and he is sitting at third base.
Headley takes a strike. O's bring the infield back. And they will allow a run to score. Chases a high fastball, 0-2. First triple for Young this year.
It's always nice. You can fill every column.
Popped up behind the plate. Wieters gives it a look, but it's over the screen into the seats. Gets runners in 40% of the time, and that's below the league average of 54. And he's not going to get that run in as he pops it up to Davis. He makes the play in foul territory, 1 away.
And now the Orioles going to bring the infield in with 1 out. You know, not doing it with nobody out. They feel if a runner gets on a base hit, you squeak one through, you might start a bigger inning. Now they want to cut off the run at third if they can.
There's a strike to Murphy. 3 hits and 7 at bats against Chen. 1 of them left the ballpark. And the 0-1. Now 0-2.
Chen's been a pretty good pitcher for the Orioles since being signed as a free agent. He's from Taiwan. But he's been much better against the teams outside of the Eastern Division.
The 0-2.
Look out.
Oh, what a catch by a fan. Falling back, he caught that on a line.
The ball caught him.
Wow.
I think he's okay. Oh, he lost his phone.
Strike three. Murphy down looking.
Well, let's see where Chen. Yep, that had the corner, and it's just a matter of high enough or low enough, and it was a strike for Marty Foster. Now the infield can drop back.
There's Jose Pirela, and the breaking ball is low, 1-0. Popped up, and Chen is going to work out of a runner on third, nobody out jam. As Hardy makes the play. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 O's. Toyota is the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. Which wildcard contender do you think the Yankees match up with best for one-game playoff, and why? And Bob Rupert said the Astros. I'd want to avoid Mike Trout, and Houston hasn't played well since the All-Star break, which is true. You might want to also avoid Dallas Keuchel. All the teams have positives, and they will all be difficult. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag YankeesPrius to keep the conversation going. Pitch to Clevenger is a strike.
Let's see, the Yankees were 3-4 against Houston this year and 4-2 against the Angels. Clevenger, a catcher by trade, known mostly for his bat, although his defense did improve this year.
Grounded up the middle. Nice play by Refsnyder, and he makes the throw to first to get Clevenger.
Well, Refsnyder's defense certainly has improved since we saw him in spring training. This might be the best play he's made since coming back here for this month. Cross the body throw, something on it as well. Ranging far to his right. On the backhand. Good footwork, strong arm, one out.
And there's a strike to J.J. Hardy.
What do you think, Michael? He's improved since coming back?
I think so.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good.
Soft ground ball to third. Headley charges, fields, and gets Hardy. 2 outs.
A pretty good play.
And here's a number 9 batter in the lineup, Ryan Flaherty.
Yeah, we just saw Brock Holt of the Red Sox, and we mentioned how many different positions he had started a game at. Flaherty is kind of the Orioles' answer to Brock Holt of the Red Sox. He can move around the field.
And the way the game has evolved, it's such a valuable part on any 25-man roster. You can carry another pitcher maybe if you have a player like that.
The problem for Flaherty is he hasn't really hit as well as Brock Holt has or Ben Zobrist. Jonathan Sculp, the regular second baseman, was hit by a pitch the other day by Drew Hutchison of the Toronto Blue Jays. He's got a sore hand, and that's probably why Flaherty's in there.
Swing and a miss. Flaherty down on strikes, tagged out by Murphy. An 8-pitch inning for Ivan Nova. We go to the third. It is 1-0 O's.
Leaking Sun, full of action, full of possibilities, full of life. Yeah, lots of home runs for these Orioles. 4th straight year they've had over 200 home runs, but also a lot of swings and misses. Sort of a one-dimensional offense.
Romine wraps one to left field. Pierce is there. 1 pitch, 1 out.
And what was the last one there? Oh, yeah. League low, 305 on base percentage. So the home runs that they've hit have not created as many runs as they have in the past because they don't put as many men on base. They still have a great defense, made the fewest errors in the league, but the pitching has not been as good as it was last year. There's Buck talking with first base coach Wayne Kirby, who's also in charge of the outfielders.
Brendan Ryan takes outside 1-0. On the Audi A3 scoreboard, it's 1-0 O's. Grounded foul.
Yeah, Ryan had a big hit the other night when in the clinching game for the Yankees. He actually drove in the run that proved to be the winner. And Michael, I see a hint of that mustache coming back for Brendan Ryan.
That one is lined up the middle and through for base hit.
They had a nice one during the course of the year when all the Yankees were growing the mustache. Had a little curl to it and everything.
Does look like it's making a comeback.
Yeah, it does. I'm trying to think of. Is that the picture they had on the board?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not where he is now.
He's at first now with Brett Gardner coming up.
We're talking about Chen not doing as well against teams from the East. 15 and 19 against the Eastern Division teams. 30 and 13 against everybody else.
Well, there'll be a market for him, Kenny, for sure.
Yeah, he's left-handed. He's had a winning record. He's had a decent year. So if the saying "Go West, young man" might really truly apply to Wei-Yin Chen.
It's weird, Kenny, because the Orioles don't seem to want to invest in long-term deals, and free agents are usually shunned. But then they invested all the money in Ubaldo Jimenez, who was kind of a question mark, and really hasn't lived up to that contract, especially last year.
I think Gardner needs a new bat, maybe a hairline fracture in that one. It goes back to the days of Mike Messina. There have been questions of why they let Nelson Cruz go. A guy who led the league in home runs for them last year and might have a chance to lead the league again this year with another team.
1-1. I mean, the Messina thing is very curious. Not only do you lose him, he's a homegrown talent, but you lose him to a division rival. But they give these strict physicals, and if you give a pitcher a really thorough physical, they're going to find something in your arm if you've been pitching for a while. So they don't sign anybody. 1-2. 2-2.
We were talking before the game about Cruz, that he has a chance. Now, he's one home run behind Davis. And if he does lead the league this year, he'll be the first player to do it. There's been only one other player to do that. That was Babe Ruth when he got traded or sold from the Red Sox to the Yankees. Led the league in home runs with one team and then did it again the next year with another. So Davis currently on top with 45. Just missed number 46 in the first inning.
High drive, base hit, left field. Pierce fields. Ryan goes to third. The throw to third is in time to get Ryan. And Gardner moves to second on the throw.
I thought I saw a slight hesitation by Ryan as he got to second base. And they always say he who hesitates is lost. And in this case, out. As Manny Machado applies the tag to Brendan Ryan, who was trying to get the third one out. Not such a bad thing to try. But as we see it on Yesmo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer, he's clearly out. There's one hesitation, make sure the ball went through. Maybe a little one tried to pick up speed going from second to third. Not enough. He's out.
And the pitch to Refsnyder is a strike. Rob grounded to short in the first inning, so you've got Gardner at second base with 2 outs now. Top of the third inning, it's 1-0 O's. And a strike. And the count is 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
The changeup missed. We saw earlier in an at-bat to John Ryan Murphy where followed changeup with a fastball in.
Grounded to third. Machado gets Refsnyder. And that'll do it. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 1-0 Baltimore.
inspired medicine. The Yankees got some good news on Nathan Eovaldi yesterday. He threw a bullpen, came through it fine. He said afterwards that the arm has been feeling much better. He still has some tests that he needs to pass as far as on-field activity. The Yankees want him to throw another bullpen on Monday, but Joe Girardi did not rule out the possibility of him being a part of an ALDS roster in the event that the Yankees would get there. Obviously, he's out of contention for being a starter. He's not stretched out enough, but they do believe he can be an arm out of the pen that can help them. And Eovaldi even said, anything this team needs, I'm willing to do. If they think I can help, I would love to be a part of it. So still a couple steps, guys, but some great news on him. As far as Stephen Drew is concerned, he was diagnosed with a concussion, and he's just day by day. They're not really expecting him back this season.
Well, Raimo gets plunked, so he will take first. Meredith, the bullpen could really be much better than it's been for the last month and a half if you get an Eovaldi in there. If one of the starters like Adam Warren goes in there, all of a sudden it's not just a three-man bullpen. It becomes much deeper. It
really could be a strength, and you don't know exactly what you're going to get from Eovaldi at this point, and unfortunately there's not going to be a lot of time to test that out. He's not all that familiar with coming out of the bullpen. He admitted that he would need to make a few adjustments to his routine as far as getting ready quicker, but he feels as though he'd be able to make those adjustments. And he's a guy that throws hard, that can be another arm out of that pen, as you mentioned, Michael, that can do some damage.
Runner was going, and Parra bunted. Last time Eovaldi pitched out of the bullpen when he was with the Dodgers. So it's been a while, but he does say that for a starter, he does warm up quickly and gets loose quickly. Audi A3 scoreboard, 1-0. Orioles lead the Yanks.
Well, we saw an example of how the Yankee pen was strengthened the other night when Adam Warren came in out of the bullpen, fouled CeCe, and threw 3 shutout innings in the clinching game.
Laced to left field. It is a base hit down the line. Cutting over is Young. He fields the ball on the warning track, and it's a double for Parra as Raimo stops at third.
You mentioned that Parra is a much better hitter than what he's shown with the Orioles, and here's an example. It's going to be a sinker down and away. He's going to go right with it, kind of slice it down the left field line, slicing line drive. Nice opposite field swing there, and it puts runners at second and third with nobody out after Raimo was hit by a pitch.
Here's Manny Machado, wrapped into a double play in the first inning. That double play ground ball sent home a runner. He doesn't get a ribby. Yankees are playing back right now. They don't want a ball to squeeze through a drawn-in infield and give up 2 runs. And the pitch is high, 1-0. On Machado.
Manny Machado, just 23 years old. Had a breakout power year.
Popped up behind the plate. And it's in the seats out of play.
Yeah, a few years ago when he hit 51 doubles, we were talking about how as he matures as a hitter, some of those doubles will become home runs, and that has certainly come to the offing. 33 homers, by far the most he's ever hit. The most he's ever hit prior to this was 14. And that was the year he hit the 51 doubles. So his doubles are down, his home runs are up.
Two and two. And the pitch. Count is full of 3-2. First base is open, but you have Chris Davis on deck.
Good stop by John Ryan Murphy.
Here's the payoff. Grounded to short. Run will score. Ryan gets it to first. Gets Machado. It's 2-0 O's. A ribby for Machado. Parra stayed put at second.
Watching how Brendan Ryan played that ball. He kind of laid back on it, but he has such a quick delivery with his throw to first that he's one of those infielders who can actually lay back on a ball and then make the play. Doesn't take much of a step or wind up, just basically strong arm.
Here's Chris Davis. He flirted with a home run in the first inning and doubled off the wall in right center. And a strike to Davis. Runner at second now with 1 out. We're in the bottom of the third. It's 2-0 O's.
If you're careful with Davis and make good pitches, you can get him out. But when he's really hot, if you make any sort of mistake, you usually don't get the baseball back. Good off-speed pitch.
0-2 on Davis.
While he's leading the league in home runs, and he's got 45 of them, he's also leading the league in striking out with 206. So, you know, if a team is willing to make the trade-off, pay a lot of money for a lot of home runs, but you're might get a lot of misery with all the strikeouts as well.
The 0-2 swing and a miss. Davis down on strikes, 2 away.
Nova went with the soft stuff and got him to swing and miss. Strikeout number 207 for Davis on the year. Slow hook out of the strike zone. He likes the ball down. Nova bounced it. He chased it.
The way you just said that, Kenny, it's amazing. 207 strikeouts.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were going over Yogi Berra's illustrious career, and the guy never struck out. And now he struck out 207 times, still has a couple of games left to play, and he's probably going to get $20 million a year.
Yeah, I think the most Yogi ever struck out in a year was just over 30 times.
Amazing.
The most he ever struck out in a year.
And now it's an accepted part of the. You give me home runs, you could strike out 230 times.
And here's my point. We were talking about this before the game. What would be a good landing spot for Chris Davis? What teams do you think would? And number one in my book is the Houston Astros. They don't seem to care if you strike out. They have the most strikeouts. They're up there in home runs. It's a small ballpark like this one.
Runner goes. No throw. So a stolen base for Parra. Headley didn't even cover as they stayed home for the batter.
Yeah, with 1 out, I think Headley would have been moving towards third to try and take a throw. But with 2 down, you let Parra move over. Why risk throwing the ball away?
Now you do risk him scoring on anything that gets past Murphy, who's very good at blocking the plate, though. 3-0.
And you think about it, Houston is an up-and-coming team. They got a lot of good young players. They possibility to make the playoffs.
Ballpark that yields home runs.
Yeah, and Davis is from Texas.
So a walk to Wieters. Putting runners on the corners with 2 outs for Steve Pearce.
This is sort of like a breather for Nova here. His pitch count is up almost to 50.
And Larry Rothschild will go out and talk with Nova. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. So the conference is over, and now with runners on the corners and 2 outs, Pierce digs in. High fly ball left field. Young is back, and he'll make the play for the final out of the 3rd. 1 run, 1 hit, and 2 men left on base. 3 in the books. It's 2-0 O's. Banquet. Go back to 1978. Reggie Jackson. It's a 3-run home run. Helped the Yankees defeat the Royals 7-1 in Game 1 of the ALCS.
That's why he's Mr. October. Well, one of the reasons.
Lincoln scoreboard 2-0. O's lead. Yesterday, Kenny, was the anniversary of Bucky Dent's home run at Fenway Park in the 1-game playoff game.
If you want to go back even further, I think today is the anniversary of Bobby Thompson's home run that beat the Dodgers at the Polo Grounds way back when.
So then that got the Giants into the World Series.
Yeah.
Why don't we take a look and listen?
Wow. That was the late Russ Hodges making that call for the Giants. He was the Giants' prime announcer. And from what I understand, he said the Giants win the pennant 13 times.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's interesting, though. So after that, the Giants, though, go and play in the World Series against the Indians. No,
they played the Yankees that year.
The Yankees that year.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
they lost.
This year, the World Series is going to play into November.
Yeah.
Popped up. Hardy makes the play.
Yeah, they played the Indians in 54. And the Indians were overwhelming favorites. And that was when the Giants made Willie Mays made that catch
against Vic Woods.
And the Giants swept them. And the Indians had, in that year, won 111 games, which was an American League record, until it was broken by the Yankees in '98.
And that was broken by the Mariners.
Yeah.
With 116. Chris Young fouls it back. I guess 51, though, was a portent of things to come and gave baseball a little bit of a window into what a playoff would be like to get into the World Series. And now there's 3 levels. There's the wild card, the division series, and the LCS. Dribbled slowly at the first baseline. Chen fields, fires low, and Davis can't come up with the scoop.
It looked like that ball was going to go foul, but somehow it just kicked back to the left and remained fair. There's a little squibbler kind of fighting it off. Looked like it was going foul, but then all of a sudden it starts going the other way. Short hop on the throw. And Chris Young's going to be safe.
And it's going to be E1 on Chen.
Just spiked it. Well, you're talking about playoff. That was 2 out of 3.
Yep.
And that was the final game, the 3rd game.
You know, there's a lot of talk about, gee, they should have the wild card series be best of 3. But I think the urgency of a 1-game playoffs really is what they wanted. They wanted, you know, essentially a Game 7 in the American League and the National League, and that's what you get. And they also wanted the wild card to suffer a little bit, because in the past when you made the wild card, it was just as good as winning the division.
Well, to get to this 1 game, you might have to use your best pitcher. We saw the Astros pitch Keuchel yesterday.
And now they have to decide, if they make the playoffs, do they pitch Keuchel on 3 days rest, which he's never done before.
And that's why it's better to win the division.
And that's why the Yankees were disappointed in not catching Toronto. And they tried. And once that was done, they said, okay, we're getting in, and that's getting in. But now they have to win that 1 game to get to the ALDS, either against the Blue Jays or the Royals. Driven down the left field line and foul.
Still, there's going to be plenty of excitement starting on Tuesday. You know, having played the postseason, there's nothing like it. It was just, you know, you play hard during the regular season, and both times we got to the World Series, we had a big lead, so that we knew we were going to playoffs. But once the playoffs start, it just, all that energy is ratcheted up about 1,000,000 times. Good eye.
You know, Joe Girardi has said how important it will be to have that Tuesday game at Yankee Stadium. And then it was pointed out in the second half of the season, Yankees haven't played that well at home. And he said, well, we faced a lot of left-handers. He said, we faced a lot of good teams. He said, and I know we played very well on the road. He said, but you'd rather be home in your own bed, in front of your crowd.
Yeah.
And Kenny, if they have to play somewhere else, the wild card, after Sunday's game, they have to get on a plane and go there.
You're right.
Rather than go home and enjoy the off day and then play on Tuesday. So a lot of wear and tear at the beginning of what could be a very long month.
It's 1 less plane ride. Everybody's kind of tired of the travel anyway this time of year.
First and second, 1 out. Murphy fouls it off.
I mean, you got your near 50,000 miles in. It's worth it when you're in the playoffs, though. I mean, just.
Two 2-0 Orioles. We are in the top of the 4th. Yankees threatening, first and second, 1 out.
John Ryan Murphy's been swinging a pretty good bat of late. Last 25 games or so, he's hitting over 300. Close, I think closer to 333. So he has been a contributor, more so than most backup catchers. Chen couldn't get him to bite. Trying to expand the strike zone.
Foul back.
Earlier this year, there was some controversy with Chen. The Orioles, in a roster move, sent him to the minor leagues, and Chen wasn't very happy about it. Usually, he speaks through a translator. He didn't need him for that to say he wasn't happy. The Orioles sent him down. Eventually, of course, they bring him back. He's a big league pitcher. It was one of those deals they needed an extra arm in the bullpen.
1-2. Fly ball right center. Power makes the catch. And he fires to Hardy to keep Young at second. You have to watch out running on the Orioles. They lead the American League in fielding percentage and #1 in Major League Baseball with 47 outfield assists. They can throw.
Yeah, Power has a good arm. Reimold's pretty good. Of course, Adam Jones not playing today. He's the all-star center fielder, at least not playing the day game of this doubleheader. And I believe he's got back spasms. Might be another reason why he's not in there.
Here's Jose Pirela. That one is line on a humpback line to Flaherty for the final out of the fourth. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Quest for a 28th World Series title every step of the way. Tuesday night, don't miss the Tri-State Ford Yankees pregame show as we get you set for the American League wildcard game. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. right here on Yes, the network that knows the Bombers best. Now, the Yes Network is also going to have post-game coverage following the wildcard game and pre- and post-game shows before and after every playoff game as the Yankees move along. The 0-1 to Clevenger is low, 1-1.
Yeah, we've done that in the past, and recall the last time, 2009, stand on the field, watching the team celebrate the world title. It was a lot of fun. I mean, the stadium was rocking.
How about the two of us just bust into the ESPN booth and take over the mics and announce the game? That would be fun. That would be fun.
You mean hijack the broadcast?
Dan Schulman and John Clark wouldn't mind. Chop to second. Ref Snyder's there. 1 away.
Oh, boy. You know you're stirring it up, right?
Am I really?
Yeah.
That's not like me. Here's J.J. Hardy
Revealed in the paper the other day, Hardy said that he's been playing with a torn labrum in his non-throwing shoulder. He'll probably have something done in the offseason. And he's not certainly had the type of year that Hardy's had in the past. With just 8 home runs, hitting just over 200.
And he's one of the players the Orioles kept.
Yeah.
And signed to a deal.
There are those who feel when Hardy's deal is done that Manny Machado is going to go back to his minor league position as shortstop. Manny actually played a couple games at shortstop this year when Hardy was out. But Machado has proven to be maybe the best fielding third baseman in the league.
Didn't he win the Platinum Glove last year?
Well, it was last year or the year before. But
that's the best fielder in the league overall.
Any position.
Right.
So he's got one of those on his resume, on his mantle somewhere. It's Miguel Gonzalez getting the friend treatment.
Two. Strike 3. Hardy down looking, 2 away.
Third strikeout for Nova. Well, it's getting to be that time of year. That looks like one of the giveaways that the teams have at the end of the season. As the weather turns chilly here in the east. Those are hats, a reminder that spring is on the way.
Chop back to Nova, and Ivan has a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the 4th. Let's move to the 5th. First game of a day-night doubleheader. Orioles 2 and the Yankees nothing. Back in the studio with the whole gang. Bigelow T scoreboard 2-0 Orioles over the Yankees. I didn't think they'd get them to come in for the noon game, but they got Bob and company to come in.
Early wake-up call.
That's right. Austin Romine takes a strike. He lines sharply to left field to lead off the 3rd.
Grant Wilkes-Barre this year. Romine hit 260. 7 home runs, 49 runs batted in. He was in the spring training battle for the backup catching job with John Ryan Murphy.
The 0-2. 1-2.
Also had 19 doubles down there, so Scott Wilkes-Barre had a good year.
You know, we mentioned jokingly at the start of the game that this lineup kind of has a Bradenton March 6th feel to it. And it's a little curious by Girardi because you really want to get the win out of the way. Now, Houston's playing tonight, so that loss can't happen before this game. If you had stacked your lineup in this game and won it, then you can limit Severino to 2 innings. That one is grounded to third. Beautifully backhanded by Machado. Strong throw, got him. What a play by Machado.
That's what we were talking about. That's how you get a platinum glove. Crossing into foul territory. You had third base umpire Sam Holbrook scampering to get out of the way. But, the part of the play that impresses me the most is this throw.
Didn't even set himself.
Yeah, neck high over the first base. It's getting to be kind of routine here. They don't even really get excited about it.
Romines hit the ball hard twice. Got nothing for it.
Nothing.
He's got the gold label on the glove. Anyway, continuing on the lineup.
Oh, okay.
If you win this game, Kenny, then you can limit Severino to 2 innings in the second game. Now, if you lose this game, you've got to play that game because you have to win it. And all of a sudden, Severino's not a pitcher, even out of the bullpen on Tuesday. I was a little surprised. I know he said everybody's going to play that didn't play in the second game. Well, don't you want to win the first game first, and then you could dictate how you'll use Severino moving forward? But this is what Joe's elected to do. And obviously they still have a chance to win this game. It's only 2-0, but we'll see how it plays out. Yankees have managed 3 hits against Chen, and Chen's a good pitcher against any lineup you run out there. And you also have to think, Kenny, that in the second game, A-Rod's not playing. They're going to be playing 2 games in a doubleheader. And Gardner won't play.
And they're going to see Jimenez.
Who's not bad.
He's been pitching pretty well for the Orioles in September. Chen's ability to move his fastball around from corner to corner, up and down. That's a pitch he controls the best.
Swing and a miss. Gardner down on strikes. So Chen has retired the last 5 Yankees in a row. The end of 4.5. We're halfway through. Orioles up by 2. Now secure the best seat locations for the 2016 season. In addition, as a new season ticket holder, you'll enjoy significant savings and flexible payment options. Your legacy starts now with 2016 season tickets. Call 212-YANKEES or email seasontickets@yankees.com today. Nolan Reimold leads off the bottom of the fifth, takes a pitch inside. Big OT scoreboard, 2-0 O's.
Interesting to note, in each inning, the Orioles got the leadoff man on, and both times it was Reimold. They scored. In the innings where they didn't get the leadoff man on, Nova had a 1-2-3 inning. Reimold might be the key to this game if he can get him out here.
So the count 1-2 on Reimold. And the pitch. 2-2.
Over the years, Reimold's been an interesting player. Actually, he left the Orioles, played some for the Toronto Blue Jays and I believe the Arizona Diamondbacks, and now he's back with Baltimore. Injuries always seem to derail him. He's had a couple of neck surgeries. But he also has some tools. He can run, he can play center field, all three outfield positions. If you can play center, you can play all three. Got a little power. And we've mentioned this before. His first major league home run was off Mariano Rivera. No other player can say that.
Here's the 2-2 from Nova. Grounded to third. Headley fields and gets Reimold one away here in the bottom of the fifth. This is just the beginning of a day of baseball here on Yes. A day-night doubleheader. First game started at 12. Second game will start at 7. I asked Showalter today, I said, why'd you start the game at 12 and not at 1? And he starts to give me, he goes, well, I mean, we have to clear the ball. I said, really, Buck? Clear the ballpark? I think that'll take about 6 minutes. And so he laughed. He said, well, there's some rain in the forecast a little later on, so we think that it's better to finish the game.
Yeah.
And then the rain should stop by the nighttime game.
Or in case it came early and there's a delay in the first game.
Right.
Yeah. You don't want people standing outside waiting for a game to finish before they can come in.
There'll definitely be a much larger crowd for the second game because that's the regularly scheduled game. On the game before the game was called yesterday, Kenny, Showalter made very interesting comments to me. He was on the radio show simulcast on Yes, and I said, well, is there any way that some of these games won't be played if everything is decided like home field advantage? He goes, these games and these dates and gates are very important to the Orioles. He said, if we lose one, he said, that might mean that we lose a player next year. That could be money that we could get a player that we want. Otherwise, if we don't make that one, I said, really? So that's how much they're, I guess they're close to the balance sheet, I guess.
Well, they're running a business too. The game's on TV, which is also added revenue, as we have learned here at Yes. On Masson.
No, it's obviously a business. And he said, we've lost gates before. We talked about the game that they played.
Yeah.
That they couldn't let anybody in.
A doubleheader, actually.
Yeah. 3-2. Fly ball. Left center. Gardner makes the play for the second out. Here is Manny Machado, who's wrapped into a double play. That allowed a run to score, but he didn't get a ribby on a double play. And then he grounded out in the third, and that scored Reimold from third. And he did get a ribby there, his 83rd of the year. So he's been responsible for both Oriole runs.
Machado earlier when he hit his 30th home run this season. The second youngest Oriole ever hit 30 home runs in a year. I'm making you guess.
What was the other one?
Who was the other? Who was the youngest Oriole? He's the second youngest.
To get 30
home runs in a year. You have to go back a ways. It's somebody who's very prominent at this ballpark.
Cal?
Maybe not as. Of course, he's prominent, but maybe not as prominent on an everyday basis like this.
Oh, Boog Powell?
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah. That was,
good clue.
Yeah. Of course, Boog's Barbecue out there in right center. There it is. Boog was a few months younger than Manny Machado back in 1964 when he hit. I think he hit 34 that year.
That one is crushed to left center field. That ball is gone. See ya. A solo blast for Machado, and it's 3-0 O's.
Jan mentioned number 34, and Manny just hit number 34. Let's see what. Oh man, centered. Now Machado is batting third today. Most of the year he's batted in the leadoff spot because the Orioles didn't have anybody else to do it. But I have a feeling next year, where he's batting now, that's where you're going to see him.
Especially if you lose Davis. I mean, you have to have a run producer.
Yeah, Manny's got, this is his 83rd run batted in. Make that 84th because he drove in one earlier in the game.
Pitch inside, 1-1.
So we've seen Machado on both sides of the ball. We saw him defensively with that play last inning, and then you saw him with a bat in his hands this inning. Barely 23 years old.
I think it means a lot to him this year, Kenny, to have played in every game because he's had seasons derailed with serious knee injuries. And if he plays the second game of the doubleheader and tomorrow's season finale, he will have played in all 162 in an era when guys get rest after playing 10 games in a row, if that many. 1-2.
I think he currently has the longest consecutive game streak in the major leagues. It's barely over 150.
With this game, it's 160.
160 games.
And Davis walks. You wonder, Kenny, will Showalter play him in the second game? And if he doesn't start him, will he use him as a pinch hitter? I don't think he's thinking Cal Ripken Street, but I think it means something for Machado to play in every game this year.
That's. I bet you could count on one hand the number of players that will appear in 162 games this year.
I think you can count on Mordecai Brown's hand. Matt Wieters lines one to left field. It's a base hit.
You mean old three fingers Mordecai Brown?
That's right.
Well, he lost the fingers in a farming accident, and it said the way he was a pitcher.
Well, let's put it this way, Kenny. Second in Major League Baseball for consecutive games played is Cole Calhoun of the Angels, 151. So Machado will be the only guy who does it.
Only guy. There was one year I played every single game, but I think back on it, how'd you do that? Nova got the first 2 outs pretty easily, and then the home run maybe unnerved him a bit. Got careful with Davis, walked him. I think Wieters flipped one in the left field for a hit. Now he's back in trouble. I showed you how Pierce stands on top of the plate. That's because he's looking to pull the ball, and he's flat out to left both times. He has to be quick on inside pitches, but he wants to pull it. That's why he's standing so close, so he can reach the balls in the outside corner and rip them towards left field. He's not thinking opposite field very often.
Rip foul.
He feels he's quick enough with his hands to get anything that's in. Pitch is in, but he pulled it foul. If you stand further off the plate, you might have a chance to keep that ball fair. But then again, you might have a tougher time protecting the outside corner.
Grounded. Foul.
Nice stop by Headley.
Did he hold up? No, he did not. So Pierce down on strikes. But the O's get a run on 2 hits and 2 men left. The run came off this swing, off the bat of Manny Machado. He goes yard. His 34th home run of the year. By FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football. By People's United Bank N.A., see what know-how can do for you. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2015 models. They have a great aquarium here in Baltimore. Always jammed. Try to get in there. Great tourist attraction. And it's right in the middle of the Inner Harbor.
The National Aquarium.
Ref Snyder swings and misses as we start the 6th inning of Game 1 of this doubleheader. Sounds like a broken bat as he lines one foul, but he's going to stay with it, I guess.
Oh, Sam.
Chopped right side. Flaherty charges. and makes the play. 6 in a row retired by Chen. Here's A-Rod. Fly out to center and pop up to short.
Let's look at statistics concerning the designated hitters. The Yankees DHs have hit the second most home runs in the league. They've hit 35. A-Rod has 33 of them. Mark Teixeira has 1 as a DH, and Brian McCann has 1. The Red Sox DHs have hit the most, and David Ortiz has hit every single one of them, 37. So production from Alex Rodriguez.
That was the huge surprise in handicapping this team, Kenny. Alex didn't know what he could do. Never thought this much. You can't dream this big after missing last year with the suspension. And then to come in and be such a force. And I think the other thing you couldn't predict is the year that Mark Teixeira had before he got hurt. And those two really helped propel the Yankees to the lead that they eventually lost, but they built enough equity that they got it in as a wild card.
Yeah, modern medical technology. A-Rod with the hip surgeries and Tex with the wrist surgery.
High pop-up on the left side of the infield. Machado makes the play, and he makes it in fair territory for the second out.
It kind of makes you wonder if either Mark Teixeira or Alex Rodriguez had played, decades ago. Would these type of surgeries even have been available to keep their careers going?
You always wonder. I mean, would Sandy Koufax have pitched longer if he had today's modern medicine?
I believe so.
Chris Young takes outside 1-0. So 3-0. Young tripled off the wall just to the left of dead center. That was in the second. Reached on a throwing error by Chen in the fourth. And now he walks here in the sixth.
Yeah, that was an opportunity back in the second inning for the Yankees to tie the game. A runner at third and nobody out. Couldn't score.
I think that's been a problem for the last couple of months. They just have not been able to get the big hit.
Sometimes for a team that's been fighting away and all of a sudden they have to claw their way into the playoffs like the Yankees did, sometimes getting into the playoffs is an energizer for the team. We're in. Let's go from this point. But that remains to be seen, and it all starts on Tuesday night. I got to believe that's what happened to the Giants last year, because as we detailed the other night, they weren't playing very well going into the playoffs last year. They caught fire, but they had one pitcher, Bumgarner, who really got them going in the right direction. They kind of followed his lead. Can that pitcher beat Tanaka this year?
Well, Tanaka seems really excited about starting on Tuesday. The 1-2. 2-2 on Headley, who's fouled out to first and walked. High drive, left center field. Going back, Reimold. Still back, on the track, makes the play for the final out of the sixth. So Headley gave it a ride, but Reimold ran it down. No runs, no hits, no errors, one left. We go to the bottom of the sixth. It's 3-0 O's. you have a hole in the roller boards, obviously you go high tech. First, you get the ball out, you give it to a fan, so good, you make a friend. And then this is about as high tech as you get. You go to the tape.
Oh,
nice.
You know what? If they didn't fix that, that might start some sort of revolution around here.
Oh. See, packing tape never gets old. Clevenger takes the ball 1-0 as we start at the bottom of the 6th in the first game of the day-night doubleheader. It's 3-0 Baltimore. Well, if you're just joining us, there's a lot on the line. The Yankees have to win one of these 3 games in Baltimore to clinch the wild card home field. And if they don't, then Houston has to lose one of its final 2 games against Arizona. So the magic number essentially is 1 to assure that the Yankees get that home game on Tuesday.
Clevenger at the plate, DH today. We mentioned he's a catcher, but he also went to the same high school as Mark Teixeira, Mount St. Joseph's, which is school. It's a good school, also known for their athletic programs.
Clevenger grounds out the second, 1 away. Hey, the most popular way to follow the Yankees is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, highlights, replay reviews, scores, StatCast, live radio broadcasts, and more. Get MLB.com at bat now. Kenny, do you think there's a baseball fan out there that is signing up for MLB.com at bat the last Saturday of the season?
I think what happens, though, it renews itself for the next year.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've had it for years. It just turns over and turns.
But don't you want to invest that money over the winter before you sign up again?
Well, you know, there's always the holiday shopping. You want to take it.
That is, by the way, if you're a baseball fan,
it's great.
That is the greatest app. I mean, if you're a baseball fan, it tells you everything you need to know. You see, it's awesome.
Unbelievably good.
But waiting till the last Saturday, not awesome.
You missed something.
Yeah, you missed a lot. The 1-1. Dribbled slowly, left side. Nova off the mound, cannot make the play. So a base hit for Hardy.
Well, Headley was back, so there was no chance for him. The only player on the field for the Yankees had a chance at this one was Nova. And even when he picked it up, it was going to be a tough play. But you can see it. I think he should have barehanded, #1, but he went with the glove. And it just wouldn't stick. There it is on Yesmo.
That one's grounded to first, backhanded by Romine. He fires the second one on to first, not in time. Not too bad there by Austin Romine.
Not at all. First, a little chopper off the bat of Flaherty. Short hops it. Accurate throw. Man, right there for Ryan. Nova gets over to where he's supposed to be. But Flaherty beats the relay. Chase and Shreve warming up in the Yankee bullpen. The Yankees trying to get him going.
A 100 pitches for Nova. 1 on, 2 outs. Top of the lineup, Nolan Reimold. Reimold scored 2 of the 3 runs for the O's. The other one scored by Machado on his 34th home run. Bottom of the third, Texas leads the Angels 1-0, a game the Angels must win. Kansas City 1 and Minnesota 0, and that's in the top of the fourth. I was talking to Showalter today, Kenny, and he said he already submitted his manager of the year ballot, and he said he gave it to Paul Molitor. He said he's done an unbelievable job. He watched the way that team plays, how he handles his pitchers and the bullpen and his in-game moves. He said he's been great. He said, so I gave him my vote. I don't know if Molitor will win, but he'll certainly be in the top 3.
Well, he's one of the candidates. I think Jeff Bannister of Texas, his first-year manager, what he's done with that ball club.
John Gibbons.
Yeah. Of course, the Blue Jays having a fantastic year, winning the Eastern Division. And, I think Joe Girardi should get some consideration, considering the fact that every starter on the Yankees in the rotation has spent time on the DL. Just piecing together the pitching staff, trying to get Tanaka extra days, trying to get CC Sabathia extra days. It's not easy to plan all this out. There's 162 games, and they're all packed in 180 days. And to be able to do that and navigate that sort of terrain for the year, I think you should get some votes for that. Of course, the Yankees scored a lot more runs this year. They're in the playoffs. He'll get some votes.
The 1-2. National League should be interesting. Joe Madden has turned the Cubs around. Terry Collins done a great job with the Mets. Before they added those players, he kept them relevant to the point that Sandy Alderson would make those moves.
And put them over the top. There's a good stop by John Ryan Murphy. Michael pointed out before how good John Ryan is with defensively. How about Clint Hurdle again?
Grounded through for base hit. You're right, he's done a great job too.
Ramos having a good day. I think this is it. Left-handed hitter coming up, lefty warming up.
So Joe's going to go for Chasen Shreve, who has not pitched well in the last month and a half. The Yankees are looking for him to straighten things out. The Verizon call to the bullpen has been made. We have the night portion of the day-night doubleheader, and the starting pitchers for that, brought to you by Verizon Fios, leave slow internet behind, get Fios. Luis Severino will get the start for the Yankees. How long he goes depends on the outcome of this game. And Ubaldo Jimenez will get the start for the O's. And our coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. right here on Yes. So Nova, his day is done. He's given up 3 runs. And the 2 runners on base are certainly his responsibility as Shreve comes on to face Parra. 58th game or 59th game now for Shreve. And the numbers are all very good, but Kenny, they were so much better a month ago when Shreve just seemed like he lost the ability to throw strikes and make pitches.
Yeah, his walk totals have been going up, and his ERA was under 2 at one time, and that has climbed a bit.
And guys, the frustration was evident after Shreve's last outing, and perhaps the most alarming thing is he can't really pinpoint exactly what's wrong. He said, I don't know, I can't explain why I've been giving up these home runs. I've never given up home runs like this before, and he's never felt like he's been hit as hard as he had been in the month of September. He says he doesn't feel bad on the mound. He feels as though the stuff's coming out of his hand good, and in that last outing in particular, he felt like his split was much better. When he was asked any other way to explain it, and he said, really, I have nothing for you guys. So he's a guy that has clearly been frustrated. Joe Girardi said he's hoping he can use these last couple games to get Jason Shreve right and ready for the playoffs.
I think one thing, Meredith, that has been a factor is that he seems to be falling behind on counts a little bit more. And when you're a 2-pitch pitcher, you become more predictable. Then when you fall behind on counts, your split change is less effective, and he has to go to the fastball.
And Michael, you talked about the fact that he was a trusted reliever for about 5 months. From April 10th to September 5th, he pitched in 49 games and gave up just 5 homers. Since then, he's pitched 8 times and given up 4 homers.
I will tell you this, the late Yankee owner, George Steinbrenner, would have gone nuts with what Shreve said. I remember George once telling me, no one should ever say they don't know. They don't know the answer. He said, you have to come up with an answer. He said, if you say you don't know, that means you're lost. There's nowhere to go if I don't know. And Shreve has no answer to why he's struggling. Grounded through for a base hit. Flaherty rounds third. He will score. Reimold moves to third. And Shreve's struggles continue as he serves up an RBI single to Parra. 4-0 O's.
Well, called upon to get a left-handed hitter out. Now he's going to have to deal with Manny Machado. Parra with his 3rd hit of the game.
And now he has to try to get out Machado. And another good block by Murphy.
We talked about Machado being the 2nd youngest Oriole with 30 home runs. Boop Powell, I looked it up, he hit 39 home runs in 64. So doesn't look like Manny's going to catch Boop Powell.
Kenny, I wonder if Shreve is going to be on the postseason roster the way he's pitching. I mean, how could you put somebody who can't get outs right now on the postseason roster?
That's why he's in the game, to see if he,
right.
He's got something going here. Get something positive going. There's that split change. Off speed and a little drop at the end.
The 1-1. Dribbled slowly at the third baseline. That's going to be a base hit. A run scores. And it's 5-0 Baltimore. And you can't fault Shreve for that one.
2nd hit of that nature in this inning. Machado picks up his 3rd run batted in of the game. I don't think he could have rolled it out there any better.
So here's Chris Davis with runners on first and second. Nobody warming for the Yankees. Swing and a miss. Runners go, and that one is laced into left center. Long run for Gardner. He will not make the play. Bobbles, but they will hold Machado at third. Scoring easily is Parra. It's an RBI single for Davis, and it's 6-0 O's.
RBI number 113 for Chris Davis.
Kenny, this doesn't make sense to me. And I'm going to tell you why. I totally get what you say. That's why he's out there to see if he get people out.
Yeah.
You got to win this game.
No.
I mean, they must be very sure they're going to win one of these 3 games, or the Astros are going to lose one of the 2. To bring in a guy who has struggled as mightily as Shreve in a game that you really should win. To take pressure off of Severino and just keep to a 2-inning pitcher rather than a 6 or 7-inning pitcher in game 2 if you don't win here. It doesn't really make sense to me. There are other pitchers to go to other than Shreve. This shouldn't be tryout camp right now.
It shouldn't be. And the way Chen seems to be pitching today for the Orioles, 6 runs might as well be 60 right now.
Yep. And that one gets away from Murphy. Scoring easily is Machado. Davis moves to second, and it's 7-0 O's.
Shreve has not recorded an out as of yet. Now somebody's going to get up in the pen.
The 1-0. Nick Goody's up. Davis at second, 2 men out, 4 runs in. It's 7-0 O's. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Three and one.
It's like Shreve has gotten a little tentative with the fastball and trying to really pinpoint it, and not doing so, falling behind on counts. And it's just not today. It's been quite regularly of late.
And he walks Matt Wieters. 3 singles in a row and a walk since Shreve came in. And now Pierce will come up. And he's the 9th Oriole to come to the plate. Also throwing a wild pitch for good measure. Pierce is 0 for 3. 2 fly balls to left and a strikeout. This is a puzzle that Larry Rothschild will have to eventually solve with Shreve. He was such an effective and important reliever for them. The 1-0. 1-1. Two and one.
Now this is Shreve's 59th game.
Yep.
I'm looking at his totals from last year. And he spent some time in the minors with Atlanta. He pitched in 61 games last year in the minors and the major leagues combined.
The 2-1. 3-1 on Pierce. And the pitch. Hammered foul.
Steve Pierce has hit several foul balls on the nose. As we said, he's just looking to pull the ball, and Shreve's fastball, I've seen a few at 91, 92, really has to pinpoint it. Goody's getting ready in the bullpen. Although there is a left-handed hitter on deck. And it's Clevenger.
High pop-up. Refsnyder makes the play, and that will do it. But the Orioles score 4. They leave 2. We go to the 7th. It's 7-0 Baltimore. Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show as the skipper reflects on the Yankees' regular season and weighs in on the team's potential playoff opponents. It's the season finale of the Joe Girardi Show tomorrow at 7, only on Yes. Seven-0 O's as we go to the 7th. Wei-Yin Chen still in there, and he'll deal to J.R. Murphy. 89 pitches for Chen through 6 innings. Murphy's 0 for 2, struck out looking, and a fly ball to right.
This is the 5th time that Chen has started against the Yankees this year. He's 1-1 with a couple of no decisions. In the 4 previous games, the Yankees won 3 of them.
.62 strikes, 30 balls. Popped up, right side. And Davis nor Wieters can get there.
Yeah, not enough airtime. Even Chen thinking about making a play. Yankees had some early opportunities, wasted them. You go back to the 2nd inning, a leadoff triple. Then they had 2 men on the next inning with 1 out, didn't score. Meanwhile, the Orioles had taken the lead. And Wei-Yin Chen, if this is to be his last appearance as an Oriole, he's looking to go out in style. So far, the Yankees only have 3 hits against him.
And the 3-2 fouled away. And they all say the right things. When Chris Davis got the MVP award, he says, I really want to stay here, but I don't think they have a chance to stay here. The Orioles don't want to deal in that kind of years commitment and money commitment.
Well, it's not only him. They got a lot of players in the same boat.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting to see how this goes for this team. Good at bat for John Ryan Murphy to get a start for the Yankees here in the 7th.
Well, the call's been made to the bullpen, so they'll get busy. They have 12 pitchers out there with the September call-ups. The pitch to Perella is a strike.
Perella spent most of the year at AAA. You can see what he's done at the big league level, but very versatile at AAA.
Scooped up by Wieters.
Perella at different times. He played first base, second, third, left field, center field, right field, and DH for his Granville experience. And while he was doing that, he hit .325.
3 homers, 23 ribbies. He has 16 hits and 72 at bats with the Yankees. Slaps that one foul. Lays off the high pitch. 2-2. Line drive off the glove of Machado, and it goes into left field. Murphy goes to second. Pirela with a single.
So Manny looking the glove after the ball glanced off it and went into the outfield to hit. This is a play he usually makes. Up. Just a hair too tall for Manny Machado. Pirela hit this one on the nose. It was hooking too. Manny just slowed it down a little bit.
Well, Showalter will go to the mound, take the ball from Chen. A longer conversation than usual, knowing that this is probably his last game as an O. He gets a nice hand. We'll be back. On base are his responsibility. Up to this point has not allowed a run. 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. He threw 103 pitches, and now he turns it over to Brad Brock.
Brad Brock, all 6'6" of him. This would be his 61st appearance out of the pen, and you can see he's done a pretty good job. Opponent's batting just 203. Originally from Boss Country, Michael, Freehold, New Jersey.
Well, the Yankees will counter as Greg Bird will pinch hit for Austin Romine. Umpires just went over to Showalter. Now everything seems like it's okay. Pitch outside to Bird.
This is Greg Bird's first pinch hit appearance of the year.
And the count 3-0 on the pinch hitter. Murphy is at second. Pirela is at first. Brock deals a strike. walk, pinch hit walk to load the bases. So can the Yankees get out from under this 7-run deficit? Hey, a note about Bird that was interesting. His 11 homers tie him for the most by a player in his first Major League season after debuting in August or later. Most ever. And he's tied with Mike Jacobs, who hit 11 homers for the 2005 Mets after he debuted on August 21st. Didi Gregorius will pinch hit for Brendan Ryan. Count 1-0.
Now Joe Girardi has a slew of left-handed hitters on the bench. And certainly best opportunity for the Yankees in this game to score thus far.
And now here comes Dave Wallace, the pitching coach. Showalter working the lines to the bullpen right now, trying to keep it at 7-0. Wednesday, October 14th, the excitement of Brooklyn Nets basketball returns to yes with the first of 2 preseason games at Barclays Center. And mark your calendars for Wednesday, October 28th, as Brook Lopez and company open up the regular season at home against the Chicago Bulls. It's only on yes. So Wallace has his say with Brock. And now the 2-0 to Gregorius. There's a strike on the outside corner, 2-1.
Do you really think so? I don't.
Two-one pitch, swing and a miss.
See, the previous one being called a strike got him to swing at that. I don't think this was a strike either. No, it wasn't. And it,
swing and a miss. He struck him out. So that 2-0 pitch kind of turned the whole at bat around.
Yeah, you got that right. If you look at the location of all the pitches, should have been ball 4 prior to this one. And it looked like that was out of the zone too.
And that brings up Brett Gardner. Brett is 1 for 3 this afternoon. Strike on the outside corner. Murphy's at third, Perella at second, and Bird's at first. And a strike on the inside corner. Wind whipping here in Baltimore. The count 0-2.
Started with a changeup, hit the outside corner, came back with a fastball on the inside corner.
Wind is blowing in.
I don't know what Dave Wallace told Brock, but it seems to be working at this point.
And the 0-2. Upstairs with the fastball, 1-2. Trying to get Gardner to chase. Boy, the 4 runs that was scored in the 6th inning changes the whole complexion of this inning and the urgency of it as well. that's why, as we said at the time, bringing in Shreve was somewhat curious, and now they have a 7-run deficit they have to make up. The 1-2, and that one gets past Wieters, but not far enough. Michael Givens and T.J. McFarland warming up for the O's. Two. Outside 3-2 as Gardner has come back to work the count full. And the pitch. Grounded to first. There's one. No return, a run scores. So an RBI for Gardner as Murphy crosses with the Yankees' first run, and it's 7-1 Baltimore.
Now, it was off the end of the bat. Davis made the accurate throw to second, but Brock was not going to beat Brett Gardner to the bag. Did he hesitate? Yeah, he did. And he's not going to beat him there. So the Yankees are going to pick up a run. You know, even so, if he had beat him there, I don't think they would have gotten a double play anyway. Gardner's just that fast.
So Gardner picks up his 66 ribby. And the runners are at the corners for the Yankees with 2 outs, and Refsnyder at the plate. He's grounded out 3 times, once to short, once to third, and once to second. Girardi has plenty of people who go to the bench and bring on a guy like Dustin Ackley, but obviously he's trying to avoid Showalter bringing in McFarland, so he'd rather Brock against Refsnyder. You've got McCann on the bench. You've got Beltran on the bench. Up the middle and through for a base hit. Perella scores. Moving to second is Gardner. It's an RBI single for Refsnyder, and it's 7-2 O's.
Little chopper through the middle, right over the mound. Brock can't flag it down, and neither can Hardy. And there's Jose Perella. Run number 2 for the Yankees. And that's going to be it for Brad Brock.
So Showalter will call on Givens to face A-Rod with runners on first and second and 2 outs. As the final series of the regular season continues. Coverage starts at 6:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then we'll have all the action from here at Camden Yards tonight. Yes. Well, Showalter goes to Michael Givens to face A-Rod.
Pretty good numbers. Givens in the minor leagues was a shortstop. And I guess most infielders, outfielders who eventually converted to pitching is because they don't hit very well or hit enough. And Givens, since coming to big leagues, has been very effective.
Boy, he looks like he'd be tough on righties.
Yeah, his right-handed batter's hitting 179. That's the first thing I looked up.
A-Rod 0 for 3 in this game. And the 0-1. 0-2. Darren O'Day is going to be a free agent at the end of this year. They likely will not be able to sign him, so Givens could move into that role next season. The 0-2. Broken bat, right in on the hands, fouled away.
Looked like Alex wanted timeout and didn't get it. Here's the motion that Michael's talking about. He's got a little hip turn, shoulder turn, hides the ball well. Well enough to strike out 36 in 28 2/3 innings with only 6 walks.
Missed outside 1-2, and now Wieters wants to talk with Givens. Seven-2 Yankees. Runners on first and second with 2 outs, and A-Rod at the plate against Givens. Wei and Chen started the inning. Walk Murphy surrendered a single of Perella. Both of those guys have come around to score, so he went 6+ and gave up 2 runs. 2-2. A-Rod's worked the count full. Runners go, 3-2, swung on and missed. A-Rod down on strikes for the Yanks. 2 runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left. Time for the stretch, 7-2 O's. Two O's, and let's take a look at the way that A-Rod at bat went down, Ken.
Yeah, Michael Gibbons came out of the bullpen. Here's how he worked A-Rod over. Started with a slider, hit for a strike. Fastball, strike 2. Things got interesting. Broke it back, trying to call for time. Missed with a slider, 1-2. Missed with another one, 2-2. Low, 3-2. Right there, swung on and missed.
Well, Nick Goody is the new Yankee pitcher, appearing in his 7th game.
Goody, a young man from Orlando, Florida. Went to LSU.
And he will face Steve Clevenger. 7, 8, 9 in the O's order here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 7-11-1, leading 2-5-0. O's have left 8 runners on base. The Yankees 7. Clevenger is 0 for 3 with 3 ground balls to Ref Snyder. Goody deals. Fouled away.
Another pitcher out of the draft for the Yankees, 6th round, 3 years ago.
Changes defensively for the Yankees. Bird is at first and Gregorius at short. They've been used as pinch hitters in the top of the 7th inning. Bird walked and Gregorius struck out. The 0-2 popped up and out of play. Crowd of 29,227 here at Camden Yards. And the way baseball works, you announce the amount of tickets sold for the game, not the turnstile count, the amount of tickets sold for the game. So that's why 29,000 plus. Obviously not that many here. The 0-2. Line to right field. It's a base hit. Perella gets the ball in quickly, and we throw back to Bob Lorenz, who has an update. Bob. So the Angels and the Yankees have the same rooting interest. They would like to see Houston lose tonight. Then the Angels would move into a tie for that wild card. And then the Yankees would clinch that the Tuesday game, either against the Angels or the Astros or the Twins, would be at Yankee Stadium. The Twins are losing right now on the bottom of the 6th, 1-0. Kansas City with the lead. There's a strike to Hardy, 1-1. Two and 1 on Hardy. Hardy today is 1 for 3.
Could be end up being a tie for that second wild card. Make things even more interesting.
And if there's a tie for a wild card spot, the final wild card spot, it is not broken by head-to-head. You have to play a game. That one is lined to left field. Young can't get there. We'll play it on a hop. So a base hit, second one of the afternoon for Hardy.
And that will be played on Monday, I believe.
Yep.
They had to be.
And I'm sure the Yankees would love that.
Get another good pitcher out of the way.
Yep.
Fastball. Hardy's always been a pretty good high fastball hitter. And he laces one into left field for a base hit.
So the American League wild card is played on Tuesday, so you have the one open date. And the National League wild card will be played on Wednesday, so they have the two open dates, but they don't really have to worry about that because that wild card has been settled for a while. So Goody has runners on first and second, and Flaherty at the plate. 7-2 O's. 1-0.
Flaherty, Vanderbilt University is known mainly for their pitchers. Sonny Gray, David Price, both big-time pitchers, but Flaherty, teammate of David Price's at Vanderbilt.
Nubbed in front of the plate. Murphy has one play. He makes it at first. Runners move up.
Almost as good as a sacrifice. It wasn't meant to be so, but moves the runners up.
The Yankees have to move their infield up right now to try to cut off the run. And here's Reimold. Reimold is 2 for 3. Hit by a pitch and scored 3 runs today. Clevenger at third. Hardy is at second. Yankee infield is in. And a strike from Goody. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Reimold might have helped him out, but now he can really try and expand the zone. A hit, no balls and 2 strikes.
And the pitch. Missed outside. 1-2.
I wouldn't chase the slider.
Two and 2.
Michael, I heard you say a few broadcasts ago that 0-2 you wouldn't waste many pitches.
Not with everybody in love with the pitching.
Exactly. And here's a prime example. 0-2, and now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. And not so much that he missed with the first one. You know, that's not bad. That's okay. But then they come back and miss with the next 2. Now all of a sudden you're forced to make a pitch here, or else you're going to put another runner on base.
And now you have put another runner on base. And Kenny, my thinking is, in the old days, if you would give up a hit on 0-2, some people would get fined.
Yeah.
Managers would fine you. But if I'm a starting pitcher and I'm going to get taken out at 100 pitches, I want to go deeper into games. I want to have a chance to win games.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and attack guy on 0-2.
Yeah, I can see that what you were talking about in the old days, and managers used to yell at pitchers get up hits 0-2. But I think that's kind of gone by the wayside. If you want to keep your pitch count down, you can't be wasting all that many pitches. What if you're pitching really well and you're going 0-2 on everybody? You're going to waste a lot of pitches?
Parra rips one to right field. It's a base hit. That'll go to the wall. 2-run score. Reimold will go to third. Parra at second with a 2-run double. It's 9-2 Baltimore. 4th hit for Parra.
Yeah, he's not the guy you would want up in any situation in this particular game. He's 4 for 5 now. After the walk, throwing it right down the middle. You know, pitchers have to regain the strike zone, and sometimes they regain it too much. And Parra jumped all over it, ripped it into the corner. 2 more runs. And primarily because he lost the right-handed hitter before him.
And also, it seems like a lot of pitchers, Kenny, they don't throw waste pitches. They throw wasted pitches that nobody's going to offer at. So if you want to make the really nasty pitch on 0-2 and 1-2, that I get.
Yeah.
But make the hitter think about swinging.
Yeah. There's some guys that are very aggressive. They chase and they get themselves out.
Yankees bring the infield in for Machado. Swing and a miss. Chris Martin is up in the Yankee bullpen. One and one. Machado, 2 hits, 3 ribbies, and a home run. His 34th solo shot. Popped up. Right field, Perella will make the catch, and the runner does not go. Reimold stays at third.
Let's see how they go after Chris Davis here. Adam Jones is going to the stocking cap. Looks like they're going to try and pitch to him. Let's see how carefully they do.
Swung on, the ball gets away, and scoring is Reimold. Moving to third is Parra. And Murphy's saying that ball was foul tipped. And Joe says, please, I want you guys to check that out with New York.
Let's take a look at it here. Does he foul tip it? I don't think so.
No.
Did he swing and miss and it hit him?
That could be. That has to be it. Let's see.
Yeah, well, the ball hit him, but because he swung at it, it's going to be a strike.
Right.
I think nobody can score either when the ball
strikes the player.
Yeah, strikes the player.
And he doesn't take first because, as we explained next time, the swing supersedes the hit by pitch. And that was Murphy saying, that's why Murphy didn't chase the ball, because he saw it hit the foot. So the umpires in New York will check it out as the play is under review. Now they're going to check
if
with
it's
Sam
reviewable.
Holbrook if it's a reviewable play.
I believe he's got to go back to third.
Yeah, Joe didn't even wait to check a replay. He ran right out of the dugout, saw with his own eyes. He's that close and knew exactly what Murphy was complaining about. Now, batter hit by pitch, Kenny, is reviewable. So, in essence, that's what they're saying. Listen, you missed the fact that he got hit by a pitch, so the runner can't score on a wild pitch because it's a dead ball once it strikes a player, and that's exactly what happened.
He's going back to third. And Parra will go back to second.
And the score reverts to 9-2. So back from New York, they're calling it a hit by pitch, but he doesn't take first because he swung first. So it's a dead ball and the runners can't advance. The 0-1, 1-1.
You know why the rule is that way is because it keeps hitters from kicking at a ball, knocking it away, and having runners score or move up bases, which might have been the rules way back when.
Swing and a miss. Reimold is at third, Parra at second. 3 runs already in, and it's 9-2 O's. 2 outs. 1-2. High fly ball, center field. Gardner is there and makes the play for the final out of the 7th. So the Orioles score 3 more. They leave 2. We go to the 8th. It's 9-2 Baltimore. As Reimold's day is over, and Dustin Ackley is going to pinch hit against Givens for Chris Young. Hyundai scoreboard 9-2 O's. Orioles scored 2 runs in the 7th. Because on the board in center field, they still have 3 runs. They did not take the run away. So 2 runs makes it 9 because 1, 1, 1, and 4 is 7, and 2 is 9. Ground ball to second. Flaherty fields, and we'll get Ackley.
Another thing you notice about Gibbons, he doesn't mess around. He just pitches, sets, looking for sign.
Fly ball left field. Pierce makes the play for the second out.
Well, Michael, you mentioned that Darren O'Day, who's made the All-Star team out of the bullpen for the Orioles, is a free agent. And the feeling might be that Gibbons be the man who takes over that setup role.
Well, Kenny, if you're not going to sign your own players, you have to have a system that produces replacements.
Maybe in this case they do, but in other cases,
right? How do you replace Chris Davis?
Yeah, well, you know, how do you replace Nelson Cruz or Nick Markakis? You know, we talked about the low on base percentage that was in the team scouting report. Nick Markakis is a pretty high on base guy, and the same thing for Cruz. And you know, they've hit over 200 home runs again, but there's not as many men on base this year. There's a lot more solo shots.
So last year they didn't sign Markakis, Cruz, nor did they sign Andrew Miller, who was so important.
Yeah, that too.
The 0-2 fouled away. And for Andrew Miller, they gave up a pitcher that could move in and replace Wei and Chen. And that's Eduardo Rodriguez, who's pitching for Boston, do a nice job.
He's won 10 games. He wasn't in the big leagues the whole year.
Texas has now tied up the Angels 5-5. Bottom of the fifth. And the Twins have tied up the Royals 1-1 top of the seventh.
There's Andrew Miller.
Strike three. Murphy down looking. So Gibbons works a 1-2-3 8th inning. And a Yankee fan here in Baltimore. Can't be that happy right now. They're trailing 9-2 as we go to the bottom of the eighth.
You go back to the fifth inning. Manny Machado at the plate having a good year. The other day he hit 2 home runs in a game. Today he's got 1. His 34th of the year. This is head for the bullpen. Having a good year. He now has scored, well, He scored twice today. He scored 100 runs on the season.
So the Yankees will bring in a new pitcher. It's Chris Martin, their fourth pitcher. Ivan Nova started. Pitched into the sixth, then Chasen Shreve, Nick Goody, and now Chris Martin. Wieters leads off. Yankees shift 3 infielders on the right side. One and one. Three and one on Wieters. Wieters has walked 3 times today and singled. You wondered what type of market will be out there for Wieters, because before he had the Tommy John surgery, he was considered an elite catcher. And there was a time when they had him on the front cover of SI, and the headline was Maurer with power.
He was the #1 catcher in the league.
Will he get Brian McCann type of money?
Well, you know,
Russell Martin type of money?
He's come back from Tommy John surgery. He's known as a good handler of pitchers.
And he has walked 4 times today.
And before the Tommy John surgery, known for a catcher with a very strong throwing arm.
Yep.
A Gold Glove winner.
And you said that this year they've been almost exclusively not starting in back-to-back days.
Yeah, back-to-back games catching. You know, he'll maybe DH one game and then catch another.
Look, a team has to know he's got the goods to give them 130, 140 games behind the plate. Here's Steve Pearce, 0 for 4 in this game. 14 hits for the Orioles.
You know, when the season started, Chris Martin made the team out of spring training. And he was part of the forecourt that the Yankees had in the bullpen. 6'8", 6'8" Betances, 6'7" Miller. Martin 6'8". And those guys would rebound day after day to get people out.
I see what you did. As Murphy goes out to talk with Martin, who has lost the plate. 2-0 on Pearce.
But Martin came up with the elbow tendonitis and missed some time. Eventually went back to the minors. Has worked his way back to the big leagues.
There's a strike. 2-1 on Pearce.
It could be as easy as a catcher going out to a pitcher and say, just pick up the glove a little earlier. Just concentrate on the glove a little bit better.
Popped up right side. That makes the seats out of play.
Think about it. The odds are enhanced on a day like today. You'll get a foul ball. There's not as much competition.
fan came out with it. Two, swing and a miss. Pierce down on strikes. He's 0 for 5.
Nice comeback by Chris Martin, falling behind on the count and maybe picking up the glove a little bit earlier. Nice tight slider. Pierce over the top, helicopter type swing. He's back to the dugout. That's the type of breaking ball they were seeing from Chris Martin early in the year before the arm problems cropped up.
Here's Clevenger. Grounded to first. Bird is there. Fires to second. He gets 1. That's all they'll get. Put out his 3-6 as Clevenger reaches on the fielder's choice. Here's J.J. Hardy. Kansas City's now taking a 2-1 lead over Minnesota, top of the 7th inning. They have to have every game do the Twins. And Angels and the Rangers 5-5 in the bottom of the 5th. Now going to the top of the 6th. Strike.
Did you ever get a look at how Minnesota celebrates home victories?
No.
They have dance parties in the clubhouse.
Oh, they have a smoke machine.
Yeah,
right?
smoke machine and like strobe lights and.
That's what we do up here after a good broadcast. I'll insert the joke for everybody. They must not use it much.
But, it keeps the team loose over the course of 81 home games. I mean, you want to celebrate as much as you can. You look forward to it.
Well, that team wasn't expected to do much, and there's a base hit for Hardy. For them to be in it the final Saturday of the regular season, a testament to Paul Mahler and the team up. His 3rd hit for Hardy. And that brings up Ryan Flaherty. So 1st and 2nd with 2 outs.
I was thinking as each home win going down the stretch, those dance parties must have been more and more intense.
Flaherty is 0 for 4 today. Strikeout, grounded back to the mound, grounded to first, and then a nubber in front of the plate. A strike. Grounded softly to second. Ref Snyder there, and that will do it here in the 8th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the 9th inning. Yankees are trailing 9-2. Out for the WB Mason postgame. You'll get all the highlights and analysis from Game 1 of this doubleheader, plus the reaction from the clubhouse and Joe Girardi's manager's report. It's all coming up on the WB Mason Yankees postgame, only on Yes. So the Orioles lead 9-2, and the Yankees will finally give Rico Noel a chance to get a big league at bat. He'll face Oliver Drake, the new Orioles pitcher. So Noel has stolen 5 out of 6 bases for the Yankees, but now he will get his first at bat. Almost got it in Boston, but was called back. Kenny, he's got great speed, but he's struggled hitting-wise in the minor leagues. And if you talk to Girardi, it sounds like he'll make the wild card roster. But if they advance to the next round, I guess that's a real tough decision for them. 2-2.
Kind of root for guys at first major league at bat just to get that hit out of the way. Give yourself a major league batting average. I think earlier this year we saw Mason Williams get his first hit here at Camden Yards. Hit a home run. His first major league home run.
Dribbled slowly. This could be his first hit. And it is.
Well, Michael, you said he could run. And we've seen evidence of that with the 5 stolen bases. But it also works on infield dribblers.
The Yankees are asking for the ball. They have not gotten it back yet. Okay, Rob Thompson did get it.
Almost like a blur going down the first base line. Batting 1,000 in the big leagues.
There's Gary Sanchez. And Sanchez.
Now, unlike Noel, Sanchez is known for his power. I've watched him take BP at Yankee Stadium and routinely hit him in the second deck in left field, beyond the bullpen in left field. All kinds of power.
And this is Gary's major league debut as well. Oh, 0-2. One and two.
One of the catching prospects in the Yankee system.
High pop up, left side of the infield. Machado makes the play for the first out. And here's Didi Gregorius. So they're not holding Noel on with the 7-run lead. And That one gets away from Wieters as Noel will move to second.
Wild pitch will move Noel into second base. Drake has made 12 previous appearances, but his walk totals are up there, 9 and 14 and 2/3 innings.
That one is driven down the left field line, but it slices foul into the seats. Count now 2-1. First game of this doubleheader. Orioles up 9-2. We're in the 9th inning. High pop up. This one's on the right side. And Flaherty makes the play, and the Yankees are down to their final out. And that's going to bring up Brett Gardner.
He's got that one hit, the single. Increased his hitting streak to 7 straight.
And a strike from Drake. Angels have moved back ahead of Texas 6-5, top of the 6th inning. And Kansas City has taken hold of the game against the Twins 5-1, bottom of the 7th. Oh, 2 on Gardner. He swings and misses. And the Yankees lose this one 9-2, and they still have not locked up the home field for the wild card, which will be on Tuesday. They have another chance tonight in the second game of this day-night doubleheader, or if the Astros lose to the Diamondbacks. All Orioles in Game 1, and now we toss it back to the studio where Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, and John Flaherty will set the table for the rest of the show.